is mighty sweet. Liberty sows its seed at Farpoint Farms.
Hey guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina, and I am super excited. As you know, I love community radio. I love pirate radio. I love Part 15 radio. I love all things radio, let's be honest. And tonight I have the opportunity to do something pretty cool that I've done only a few times before. I'm going to show you a brand new Norfino 15 watt FM transmitter. Yeah, I'm going to check that out with you. We're going to power this thing up. We'll put it on an FCC legal setting. We're going to broadcast, and we're going to broadcast slightly differently than I did with the last one. And then we're going to go out to the car. We're going to turn on the radio so you can hear what this sounds like. So I'm going to give you a full overview of this cool FM transmitter for your own FM radio station. And then we're going to set up a giveaway for that very radio. That's right, we're going to give this radio away. In fact, I have two of them. I'm going to give another one away sometime in the spring. But I picked these up. The first one, Norfino actually reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to check this thing out? And I'm like, yeah, I love FM radios. I love radio stuff. Fairly obvious, I would imagine, right? So I was like, yeah, I'd do that. And I checked it out. I had a chance to play with it for a day or two. And I was like, dude, this thing is so cool. I want to get another one. And so I'm going to do two of these. But this one here, let's get the camera in close. Let's unbox this thing. And again, I've been playing with this already, so it's a little unboxed, but I reboxed it. And this is the very same radio that you're actually going to get, so I'll take as good care of it as I can. But I'll show you features and functions and all that stuff. And then, like I said, we'll plug this thing in. We'll go outside. We'll listen to how it sounds. And I will tell you, as far as the giveaway goes, here's what you need to know. 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from the day that this video is posted, I will draw a name out of the comments section. Now, unlike the last couple times I've given away radios on my channel, this time I want something a little different from you. I am going to only pick from the most compelling reasons. So don't just say, pick me. Say, I would love to have my own FM radio station because I live in a retirement community and I want to broadcast news and events to folks in my town. Or whatever, I don't care. I work for a fire department and we want to keep people in my community aware of current events or yard sales and I don't know whatever. But give me a compelling reason, give me a good reason why you should win this. Of those great compelling reasons, I will go in and pick out maybe 15 or 20 or so of those things. We'll put them all in a bag and I'll let my wife pick it out of the cup or mug or whatever we use like we did last time. And that person wins it. I'll ship this thing to you right here from Farpoint Farms right to your house. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do that again 2 weeks from tonight. But before we do any of that, let's actually see what you guys are going to be having the opportunity to win. And these are great radios. They're inexpensive, available on Amazon. The link will be down below. Something you definitely want to look into if you don't win this giveaway. So let's do it. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is the box. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to start showing you all the cool stuff that's in it. First up, we do have a manual. This again is the Norfino is how I pronounce it. I'm not sure how it's actually pronounced. The Neo Desktop TB series is the name of this transmitter. It is the 15 watt version. Now look, if you operate this thing at 15 watts, you are probably breaking Part 15 rules. I am not a lawyer. I am not an expert on Part 15 rules, but I do know that there are rules that you need to check out. So please go online, find out what you are and are not allowed to transmit as far as energy or distance-wise in your own country, right? Obviously, this is worldwide. Now, I can only give this away to residents of the United States because it's shipping costs, I'm sorry to say. I wish I could afford to ship this thing to Zimbabwe or whatnot, but I just can't do it. So it's going to be U.S. citizens only. So look that up on your own. But this thing is adjustable, so you can certainly be within the guidelines of the law and use this thing. It is FCC approved. It does have an FCC sticker on the back, so it is good to go. Now this thing has several things. It is a 6 watt. You can change it. So 0.75 watts is as low as you can go with this thing. So you can turn it way down. You have distance, range, and all the rest. And it has all the how-tos here, all in here. And I won't go over each and every bit of that, but I will show you this, and you'll see why. It has length in centimeters and megahertz. This is a way for us to measure our antenna so that we get a low SWR signal to wave ratio, right? So we're gonna set this thing up right, and it actually comes with equipment to do that. Up here, you can see all the doodads and all the things, and I'll run through that when we plug it in. All right, let me set that aside. We'll go ahead and take out the main unit here, and it's really compact. I was kind of surprised at its size for such a powerful radio, but here it is. We have our volume mix. So this is going to be like, do you want your audio output, is you got a hot signal, you can turn this thing down. You don't want it all the way up. it'll be so loud and overblown that you won't be able to really get a good copy or a good sound out of it. So you turn that thing to about midway to start, and there it is. Your audio. So you have your audio input jack. You can hook this directly to a laptop. You could hook it to an MP3 player. You could hook it to, what I hook mine to is a mixer board, right? So I have it hooked to a mixer board, and then from the mixer board, I have a microphone. I have another audio input, from this case, an old school CD player, because some of the shows are still on CD. And then I have a line out that goes to my laptop, which also produces outputted music. So that is what you can do with that. Here's your power button and your function button, and then up and down buttons for that. If you wanted to directly talk in through this thing, if you wanted to use it at a church, outside church, which is quite popular right now, plug in the mic. Again, you have adjustable volume for the mic. People can sit in their cars, tune to the same station, and listen to the sermon or whatnot, or whatever it is you want to broadcast. So really cool. Also know that a lot of drive-in movie theaters, which have become popular again, are using units just like this. The unit itself, brushed aluminum case, does have some nice heat sinks, as you can see right there, around there. Pretty nice. On the back, we have some pretty cool stuff as well. Here is our RF output. That is a nice threaded contact there, and that's going to plug one of two ways. We have a cord and a magnet mount antenna, so you could remote mount the antenna, or you can screw the antenna directly into the back of this thing. So two ways to get this done, simple or not so simple. Power supply going in here. It's 12 volt, 3 amp power supply. And then we also have this teeny weeny USB-C. That is PC control, so this thing is controllable on the PC if you want to do so. And then this is what I'm going to show you this time. So the last time I reviewed one of these FM radio transmitters, I hooked it up to my mixer board. I went through the whole thing and showed you how my radio station operates. But on this case, I'm going to show you how you can totally automate this thing. Just stuff a simple USB musical stick or whatever you got on there, right? You got to plug that in, and the next thing you know, you are now transmitting, and without anything. You just plug that in, bloop, and you're transmitting out whatever's on that USB stick. And some of these things now you get like 64 gig of music or news or whatever it is you want to transmit, and it just endlessly plays that. So talk about simple setup, right? No mixer board, no mic, just automated. So that's a cool thing too. The bottom here, the cooling fan on the back and airflow through here, so it's kind of sucking it in through these little pods here. And then there's our model number. Model number is NIO-T15B. Nerofino, I think is how it's pronounced. And I thank you to them for sending this to me to check out. Again, I liked it so much I went and bought a second one to give away later on this year, but we're going to give away 2 of these. And look at that, Bluetooth capable. So yes, you can pair your cell phone or other Bluetooth enabled device to this and transmit directly wirelessly from the cell phone to this and then out to the world. Pretty darn cool, eh? Let me set that aside. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so it does come with a nice line in. So again, I can hook this side here to my laptop or desktop, and this side here to the radio, and anything I want to transmit over my desktop, I can now transmit. So I know there are a lot of folks out here who transmit a certain news station that's currently banned online, and they just literally link to the website. They link and broadcast 24/7 through one of these things, and they get about, they get some nice results out of that. So it could be as simple as that you want to set up. Perhaps there's a religious channel you like. Perhaps there's, who knows what, music channel you like, and you want to rebroadcast that so you can hear it around the property or in the community. Definitely a way to do that. Okay, on this side here, we've got our power supply, right? And there's our cord for that. I'll just leave that in there for now because I already have one of those set up. Why is there a tape measure in here? How interesting. Well, that is, if I'm going to go back to this, how we help determine how long our antenna needs to be. So you're going to go online. There's a website that tells you free FM radio stations in the area. These are ones that you won't be interfering on somebody else's radio station. And believe me, guys and gals, don't interfere with somebody else's radio station. It's a good way to get in trouble with the FCC. Part 15 is Part 15. The second you start trampling on a licensed broadcaster signal, you're no longer Part 15. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to follow the rules and play by the rules and do this right if you want this to stick around. So here we go. We have our megahertz, and let's say I want to broadcast at 88. Well, then I'm going to go down, and 85 centimeters is how long I want my antenna to be. So that's exactly how we find it. And of course, you might have to do some fine tuning for your location, but it gets us real close. So it's really cool that they include that and that for this kit. Here we go with the antenna, and this is a neat antenna design. So we have this antenna, and it's an extendable, antenna, but it has some neat features. I can slide that down, and this thing becomes completely stationary. It's not going to bend in the wind or anything. I slide this up, and now I can attach this right to the back of my radio. So I screw that in there, And there we go. So that's really interesting, right? Like you can do that you have the ability to fold this thing up and do whatever you need to do to make it work. So I like that a lot. And why does it have this setup for this? Because it doesn't just go to the back of the radio. This kit comes with this. It's a 5-meter long wire that is attached to a magnet mount base, so I can stick this up on the roof. I could put this on top of a car if I was at a drive-in theater or something like that. You can stick this anywhere metallic or bolt it down someplace, and then you are ready to broadcast. You got a lot of stretch, right? Between this and the transmitter, you got a lot of room there. So very cool. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and plug this thing in, and we'll go through all the features and functions, how you set it up, how you set your power output, and all the rest. And then once we have done that, I'll take the camera loose again, and I'll go out to my little car. We'll turn the car on so you can hear what it sounds like, about 100 feet away, and just listen. Is there hum? Is there a buzz? Is there anything out there that may make this not be a good choice? And I've already been playing with it, so I can tell you the answer to that is it's a great choice, but let's go through it anyway. All right, before I flip it around, you can see I've got it hooked up. My power cord's hooked up. My extended cable right here is hooked up, and I've just got my little ancient, 128 megabyte USB stick plugged into this just for today's demonstration. And we'll flip this thing around and we'll take a look at the front side. Okay, here we go. Here it is, all set up. You can see it's currently off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press the power button and turn that thing on. And here we are, and you can see it's set to a radio station already, but let's go through and let me just show you some of the stuff we have. So we have our dial here that's 87.7. That's the station that I'm going to be doing my little test on. Not a great station, really. Maybe not the best station for broadcasting because it's kind of just not in use. But if that's what you come up with as the only free station in your area, it's obviously an option. And then we have, again, our controls here. I'm going to turn my mic all the way down since we won't be using that. This one here I've got set just below halfway mark. Now, how do I adjust all this stuff? And let me show you this. There's a reflected power, and forward power. Forward is how many watts out you're putting. Each bar represents 0.75 watts. So in this case, I've got it set to its lowest position. You'll see it's plenty enough to transmit well. On this side here, the reflected, well, that is the SWR of the signal going out. And right now I've got it tuned, so it is literally like almost zero. Okay, on the top here, these two little dots right there, those are two little speakers indicating that this thing is going to be transmitting in stereo. Now you can transmit it in mono if you choose to, but I don't recommend that. And lastly, down here, you see the little music symbol. That means it is detected a plug-in USB with music on it, and right now it's actually broadcasting. So let me go through the rest of it though. If I want to change any of this, I'm going to press that real quick, and you see the megahertz sign is now changed. It's blinking, right? So I could change to a different station. In fact, let's change it to 87.9, right? So once I'm happy with that, I press the button again. Here I can now adjust my power out. Maybe I want to go full tilt crazy. Maybe I don't, right? So I'm going to turn that way back down. And there we go to 1, right? So then I'm going to move that over, and we're going to be able to choose if I wanted to go with mono, I could, or I'm going to stick it with stereo. And we press it again, and it's going to go back and tell me, hey, here's the temperature it's running at. Now it does have a fan that cycles on and off as necessary. So you can see it's transmitting and it's starting to warm up. It's doing its thing. That is really as easy as these things are to set up. The hardest part of setup, and it's not hard at all, is just calculating your measurement for your antenna. You might set it up to 79 meters or whatever it is, 79 centimeters, and you might decide that its SWR is just a little higher than you want it to be. So you can always adjust that later on. It's not a huge deal. All right, let's go on out to the car and check this thing out and see how it sounds. All right, let's do it. And here we go. Here it is, 87.9. Sounding good. And of course, talk sounds just as good as music on these things. They just work. I mean, it's just a cool setup, and it has that auto-controlled fan. Not a lot to go wrong, to be honest with you. You can hear right there, no hum, no buzz. Not bad, huh? Not bad. So that's what you can expect out of the Norfino 15-watt FM transmitter if you're thinking about starting a community radio station. If you are a church owner and you are still stuck with outside church, which many of us are, if you have a high school perhaps that wants to have their own radio station, or middle school or whatever, and you want to have a radio station for your school, these are great options for that. Drive-in movie theaters, trying to sell your house, you could put this down there with a sign and let people know, hey, tune to this station and listen to a walk around of the house and what features and functions the house has or something. I don't know. Heck, even car sales you could do that with, right? All right, well, let's go back inside and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, so there it is. Look, if you're interested in starting a community radio station, if you're interested in Part 15 radio transmissions, I urge you to do more research on it, and I urge you to take a close look at this Norfino 15-watt FM transmitter. It has all the features and functions a modern radio transmitter should have. It's a cool little device with simple setup. If you're looking at AM Part 15 radio stations, yes, the range is going to be a little better, but the setup is going to be much, much more complex. If you're looking for just something that you can open the box, plug it in, and go, this is the way to go. Thank you to Norfino for reaching out to me and deciding to work with me on this. And thank you to the fans of the channel. This is my way of giving back, right? I could easily sell these things on eBay and make a fortune. But I went and spent over $100 on my own money to buy a second one so I can give both these away. You add that to shipping for 2 of these puppies and we're looking around $200 that I am trying to give back to the community. If you want to help the channel, and I never ask for people to do this stuff, but I'm going to put a call out tonight. If you want to help the channel and you want to help make sure that future giveaways like this happen, both CB, ham, and stuff like this Part 15 station are available, maybe you think about becoming a Patreon here for the channel. Maybe you think about, I don't know, any other way. If you have old equipment you'd like to donate to the channel to show off, and I get stuff like that every now and again, we'd be happy to have it, and I'd be happy to have it. I'd be honored to make you a part of the Farpoint Farms channel. And, well, I consider you all friends already, but I'm Eric, the owner of Farpoint Farms, and 2 weeks from tonight we'll be giving away this radio station. Please, please, please leave me a great, compelling reason why you want to be entered to win. And you know what we haven't done? Let's not make it 2 weeks. Yeah, let's make it 2 weeks. I want to do this. I want to do a live show. We haven't done them in forever. It's been a long time now. The Midnight Cafe, we're still doing live shows here and there. Most of the time now just on the radio just because of the big C word that takes place on YouTube these days. But we'll do a live show right here on Farpoint Farms, and we'll do the drawing here live. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll let you know what time, but it'll be 2 Saturdays from today. And I hope you'll all be there for it. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. That's great. Let's play with some radios. Let's get on the air. Let's start those community radio stations. Let's learn about this stuff. I hope you're into these hobbies. If you're not, now's a great time to get into it. I'll see you next time. Take care.
There's always something that needs a little fixing.